When cutting or bulking, should your style of training change?
This is a great question. I actually get asked this all the time. It depends on if your goal is short-term or if your goal is long-term. Long-term, regardless if you're cutting or bulking, your training, if we're talking about resistance training, should be focused on building muscle, because building muscle obviously benefits bulking, but it also benefits cutting. One of the challenges with cutting is preserving muscle and maintaining metabolism that still remains fast. It's one of the hardest challenges, right? Is how do I lose body fat without losing this hard-earned muscle? Because if you lose 10 pounds, half of it's fat, half of it's muscle, you're just a smaller, skinnier version of your old self. Same body fat percentage and everything. You've actually gone nowhere. You've just lost muscle. So whether you're building or cutting, long-term, the goal should always be to build muscle. Now, if it's a short-term goal, if I say I got 6 weeks to get lean and I'm going to cut, what I'm going to do with my workout is because this is a short-term approach, this is not a long-term approach, but what I'm going to do with my workout is I'm going to change my workout to burn a lot of calories. So now I'm going to do supersets. I might do a couple giant sets or a circuit here or there, throw in some HIIT style training, because in the short term, it burns more calories. I'll burn more body fat. Still doing resistance training to preserve muscle, but that's my short-term approach. Now, why is it not long-term? Because if I do that long-term, then I still get those negative effects that I'll get from cutting, which is I'll end up losing muscle.
Well, I think there's no wrong answer here.
I see the
right?
direction you're going.
Right. There's no wrong answer to this. Like, some people love being in a calorie surplus when they're training 1 to 5 reps. And some people love to be in a cut there because you preserve so much muscle. Mm-hmm. I think there's benefits to going both ways. Personally, whenever I adjust my food, like drastically, we're deciding I'm going from a bulk to a cut, I also like to switch up how I'm training. I just find that it takes a lot of different stimulus, both nutritionally and training-wise, to really see my body make big changes. So I love to kind of play with all of that.
It's basically train in a way that's going to be appropriate for your body to build muscle, which can be supersets if that's not what you're doing.
Right.
It could also be heavy weight in low reps if that's not what you're doing.
Right.
Now, speaking to what you're saying, Adam, personally, I like to cut and I like to go heavy and have longer rest periods when I cut because I don't have as much energy.
Right.
Supersets and shit like that. Factor, yeah, like I like to be fed when I'm going to go and do a bunch of supers. Yeah. And I know that's counter to what a lot of people think.
I agree with you on that, but at the same time, like it's also an ego thing because you're low calorie and now you're trying to do these same lifts that you would normally have like a lot more strength when you're well fed. So you just have to like work through that psychologically. But I do prefer to try and do lower reps and go in that direction.
That's why there's no wrong answer here. Your point is valid too. Like, I totally agree with you. Like, it's nice when you are fed to be doing a lot of supersetting and moving it around.
Get
and
the pump.
Yeah. So the answer for everybody is to play with this. This is what's so neat is that, everybody listening right now, there's going to be a group of people that go, oh man, I need to be fed when I go in 1 to 5 rep range. I just feel amazing and I see great response. Then great, then do that. You know what I'm saying? That you can do either one. I think getting hung up on this, because I get this a lot in my DMs. This is actually one of my, hey, I'll get an exact DM.
They want like the perfect formula. Like, give it to me.
I'll get a DM that says, hey Adam, I'm in phase 2 of MAPS performance.
Yeah, should I cut or bulk?
Yeah, should I cut or bulk? Or I'm about to transition into a bulk. What phase should I be in? It's like, that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You should be going in and out of cutting and bulking. I think we always talk about at least every 4 to 6 weeks. You shouldn't be staying in one of them too much longer than that anyways. So it's not always going to line up perfect for a phase in the workout. And I think it's a good thing for everyone to try both ways, cutting in a program that's strength based one time and then cutting one time in a hypertrophy or superset type of phase.